Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This week I've been behind the wheel of the 2025 BMW X330 xDrive, a now fourth generation sports activity vehicle, which receives significant enhancements this year. These enhancements begin with a name change as BMW has dropped the I from its model name. The vehicle is now larger and the exterior design language becomes more aggressive in styling with sharper lines. Your two powertrain choices now include mild hybrid technology as standard, and the advanced interior technology experience is elevated with the inclusion of BMW's iDrive 9 operating system with Quick Select. Now, all that aside, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button because now it's time to get into consumer hot topics like pricing, performance, real-world fuel economy, towing, cargo space, and so much more. This 2025 BMW X330 xDrive you're looking at is covered in the optional Arctic Race Blue metallic paint, and it's equipped with standard 19-inch aero wheels. Up front, the large BMW kidney grille has a new internal structure and is composed of both vertical and diagonally arranged bars, which adds a new look. The LED lights are all now produced by L-shaped overlapping light sources with the option to purchase BMW's blue design shadow line lights. Overall, the X3's dimensions have increased. It's now 1.3 inches longer, 1.1 inches wider, and 0.6 inches shorter in height. MSRP pricing begins at just over $62,100 in Canada, and MSRP pricing begins at just under $53,800 US for the sport look, before additional options or taxes are applied. Pricing aside, this 2025 BMW X330 xDrive is equipped with a 2-liter turbo inline 4-cylinder with a mild 48-volt hybrid system and an 8-speed automatic transmission. This is producing 255 horsepower with 295 pound-feet of torque and looks like and sounds like this off the line from the driver's point of view when in sport mode. Sport mode activated. Now, let's go. Oh yeah. Man, if you want to up the fun factor, just use your paddle shifters. Amazing. Here's a fast fact for you. If you really want to impress your friends off the line, then level up and purchase the X3 M50 xDrive model because that's producing 393 horsepower with 428 pound-feet of torque, which is 138 horsepower and 133 pound-feet of torque more than this X330 xDrive model. I mean, it's just going to cost you $12,000 to $15,000 more depending on your market location, but whatever. When it came to my fuel economy for the week in the X330 xDrive model, I went out for 2 different 60-minute test drives. In the first test drive, I activated efficiency mode and I was able to average 8.9 liters per 100 kilometers, which is slightly better than what is advertised when combining both city and highway traffic, keeping in mind that my vehicle is empty. My second 60-minute test drive was much more spirited and a lot of fun, but I was only able to average 10.2 liters per 100 kilometers, and what wasn't fun is when I had to fill back up with premium fuel. Your BMW X330 xDrive will now come equipped with parking assist and trailer assist as standard in 2025. So basically, if you have to tow a trailer or a boat, whatever it might be, it's going to become easier for you in a forward motion, and when you're reversing, you could actually control the kink by using your iDrive 9 controller or by going through the infotainment system, which is super cool. Now, when it comes to the payload capacity of your X330, it will be 1,106 pounds, and this includes the weight of what you can carry on top and inside with passengers and luggage. And when it comes to towing, you'll be able to tow up to 4,000 pounds. If you have to tow a bit more weight, well, then you have to level up to that X3 M50 model. Now, when it comes to cargo space, with the seats up, you receive 570 liters or 20.1 cubic feet of space. With the rear seats lowered in their 40-20-40 split configuration, you receive 1,700 liters or 60 cubic feet of space. Other features include a cargo cover, a 12-volt port on the right side, and under the trunk floor, you should find a spare tire. However, check with your local BMW specialist. Lastly, and part of the premium package with comfort system, you receive a kick to open or close power liftgate. Personally, one of my favorite features always is a huge panoramic sunroof. I just wish that BMW would put a button back here so passengers sitting in the rear can adjust it to halfway or completely closed just for a bit more privacy, or when you're just trying to take a nap. Instead, you have to use the buttons located up top and in the front by where your selfie cam is. But that's me just being maybe a little bit picky. But overall, even for what really is a compact SUV, or in BMW's terms, a sports activity vehicle, leg space back here is really good. Head space is really good too. If you're familiar with my channel, you know I'm only 5'3", so I technically fit well everywhere. But this front passenger seat is currently set up for someone who's 5'11". I mean, like, I've easily half a foot of space right there, and like I said, you can see I have a lot of headspace. Now, in this particular trim, these rear seats are not heated. They're also fixed, meaning they do not slide forwards or backwards. They only fold like I have demonstrated, but they are super comfortable, and I'm really impressed with all the storage that BMW provides in this X3 as well too. I wasn't expecting a climate panel back here because it's a small vehicle, but the vents are really, really cool. I like the design, and you receive 2 USB-C ports. When you connect with your local BMW specialist, make sure you inquire about the premium package and adding it to your X330 xDrive vehicle. It's going to cost you anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 more depending on your market location, but trust me, it's definitely worth its value. And as I take you for a front tour of some of the driver and front passenger comfort, convenience, and technology you receive, I'm going to mention it quite a few times, but if you look down in the description below, I'll actually itemize all those features because you receive a lot. Now, that aside, these front seats are both power operated. They're heated, ventilated, offer lumbar support, and I love the thigh extension too. Super comfortable. Then the steering wheel is also heated. On the left hand side, you'll find your cruise control buttons. With that premium package, you also receive driver assistant plus with stop and go, so essentially adaptive cruise control. So really, really good. And then on the right hand side, you'll find your shortcuts for your Harman Kardon audio sound system, which sounds really good, your Bluetooth and your voice commands. This also has the Hey BMW voice assistant too. You could also use a button over here to customize your fully digital driver cluster. Part of that premium package too, you receive a heads-up display, which I speak about during my final driving impressions. Then moving to the infotainment system, it is equipped with the iDrive9 quick select system, navigation, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, all standard, and you receive augmented video navigation, part of that premium package. But here are some of my go-tos. So first thing you're going to want to look for is going to be displays. In here, this is where I deactivate the heads-up display, or if you like that feature, you can actually adjust the rotation, the height, etc. Then my other go-to is going to be the doors and windows. This is where you're going to activate your kick to open hands-free power liftgate, and you can adjust the height too as well. Through here you also have a drive recorder, which is really good for security. You have the selfie cam, which I've actually reviewed a few times when I'm doing BMW vehicles, and then driving settings. Again, part of that premium package, you receive a lot of driver assisted technology. If you don't like all of the vibrations or the beeps or whatever, this is where you're going to adjust it. But take a moment to go through it with your BMW product specialist. I mean, these are all features that you are paying for. And inquire about a digital premium subscription too, because then you can do streaming, your streaming services through here, and gaming. Super cool. Your HVAC system is all touch as well. If you want to minimize some fingerprints, you can use some shortcuts down here. Obviously, you've already seen where your drive mode selector is, and then the camera views with the panoramic view as well look really, really good. Premium package, also a mobile charge pad. You have 2 USB-C ports up here. Inside your front center console, you receive one 12-volt port. Now, let's hit the road so I can tell you all about my final driving impressions and some of my likes and dislikes. 2025 BMW X330 xDrive final impressions, and I'm going to start with the looks. So I've always been a fan of BMW's new design language. I love the look of the more aggressive LED lights and that larger front grille. It offers so much character when you're rolling down the street. It looks amazing, but looks are subjective. It's really up to you. When it comes to the comfort in this vehicle, you can definitely tell how much better the comfort and the quality is when you finish reviewing a $30,000 vehicle and you jump into this one. I mean, the overall drive, the comfort for your back and your butt, yeah, amazing. So it just appreciate what you have. And then the drive is so good. So when you want to have that spirited drive, you know, on and off ramps, it's so well balanced. Like you throttle mash and it just hugs, right? But if you want to do more of that, come see me at 6th Gear at my track days and we'll show you a good time in a car. But it's not all perfect. When you cold start the vehicle, it takes about 10 minutes until it loses like its hesitation. I mean, turbos always have a turbo lag, but I mean, more like when you go to apply the throttle, there's a hesitation and then it grabs. But just for the first 10 minutes and then it goes away. Things that I would be super picky about in this vehicle is the heads-up display. Because I sit like this, if you're familiar with my channel, you know I'm a former racer, so I sit really low. If I sit up here, now I could see my heads-up display and the graphics are amazing, but I don't want to sit up like that, and I don't. Another thing that I would want to be picky about is I want my heated steering wheel and heated seating functions just readily available for me, as opposed to going through the infotainment system. I mean, but stuff like that you get used to when you actually own the vehicle. I'm only driving it for a week. And then I would want a button in the back for the panoramic sunroof so I can close the cover halfway if I was sitting in the back without having to disturb the driver or the front seat passenger. And then finally, the kick to open power liftgate is like so slow. You kick to open, it's like, doo, 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 doo. Oh, okay, now it's gonna open. So I would just make that a little bit faster, or maybe, you know, I'm really impatient, but those are the little things that I'm gonna be picky about. Then when it comes to visibility, it's good out the front, but if you do sit low like me, be aware that the A-pillars become wider when it gets lower. So when you're turning left or right, you know, just make sure you give it a quick glance. There's no blind spot over your shoulder by the B-pillar. And then if you sit low like me, there is a blind spot out that C-pillar. But if you're taller and you just sit normal, I mean, it's gonna be fine. And take advantage of your driver assisted technology with that premium package. It's worth its value. The navigation with video, augmented reality, and the 360 cam, like, so cool. BMW does a really good job with their graphics. And then noise cabin quality, I find that BMW upped their game with noise cabin quality ever since they introduced their electric vehicle lineup. Like, it's so good. Like, even when you're cruising at like 125, 130 kilometers an hour, or like 70 miles per hour, or 75 miles per hour, like, I mean, it's amazing. But guys, if you're looking for more information, look down in the description below. I try to make your purchasing experience easier for you. And while you're down there, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.